Hi, everybody. I'm here with Rich Carrington, and we're talking recruiter enablement. Rich, thanks for joining me. Give us a quick introduction.
I'm Rich. I am a talent leader. I've been in recruitment for 10, 11 years now, working mostly within the health and social care and education sector, typically big volumes. So that's me.
Okay, tell us about you're working today with Seashell Trust. Tell us a bit about Seashell Trust.
Seashell Trust is an amazing charity, a really special charity supporting children with the most complex education and healthcare needs. So some students come and receive support from school and college, for example, and people with multisensory impairments, autism, the most extreme clinical needs really, and educational needs. Some students are able to go home. Some students also live with us 365 days a year. So an amazing charity, amazing cause.
Yeah. Okay. I imagine to support an organization like that, the types of people you hire are going to be pretty highly skilled and not that easy to find. Would I be right in saying that?
Exactly, and we are based in one location, rural Cheshire, Manchester border, in a really affluent area as well. So to find people who can afford to work for a charity can be a bit of a challenge.
I'll bet. Okay, specifically recruiter enablement. You've worked in lots of organizations. You have set up talent acquisition in a number of organizations as well. What to you does recruiter enablement mean? What's that about?
I think it's making sure that I've seen a lot of these podcasts with a great Adam. A lot of people talk about the same things, making sure people have the right tools and the right function set up to be able to deliver against recruitment requirements. For me, recruiter enablement is thinking longer term. What does that workforce strategy plan look like? Where is the business going? And making sure that we're putting the right systems in place as well. So it's one of the things which, as a leader, I often think, actually, let's take a step back. Let's work with operations. I think, what's our 5-year plan? Not just what do we need to hire for today or tomorrow, for example. So recruiter enablement to me is making sure that I can remove some of the politics from their process and make sure recruiters can have fun and just enjoy themselves recruiting.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. And like to me, there's there's not much more of a fun killer than like repetitive work, administrative stuff, the sorts of things that recruiters are overskilled for and probably overpaid for as well. So tell us about like some of the things that maybe you've put in place over the years that have been very effective.
I'm doing it right now at Seashell Trust, to be honest. So our goals for the next 12 months are to streamline our processes, to digitalise where we can do, and to diversify our attraction strategies to make sure we are not only advertising in more places, but also we're considering that we're attracting the right people to apply in the first place. So we want to have a more diverse workforce, for example. So when I think about things I've put into place, it's often just getting to know the business and what they need really, and then work backwards from there. But typically, it's looking at systems and processes, automation as much as you can do. Love a good CRM as we all do. Making sure that our systems actually talk with each other. Um, it's Fosway who show us that there's potentially 15 or 16 different types of products through that end-to-end recruitment journey. And if none of them talk with each other, then a recruiter's there clicking between systems and you're giving them a life admin. I personally go compare to go and buy insurance, for example. Love it. It does all the talking for me. I don't have to go across multiple places to search for multiple things. So asking recruiters to stop doing what they're best at, to ask them to click systems for systems' sake, definitely is a big one. So for me, a lot of the work I've done over the years is going in, making systems work with each other, and then helping recruiters to build relationships with stakeholders as well. So they've given the time to be able to do the value add work.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you're right. So you can't really automate the process of building relationships with your important stakeholders. You need the time to do that. So if you can remove for a recruiter the stuff that technology can do for them, which actually humans are not really adding a lot to the process on, then they can spend a lot more of their time yeah, building rapport and getting to really understand what types of people are the best people to fit. And and when you're talking to candidates, establishing which are the best roles for them within the organization and that kind of thing. I know that you're big on technology. Um, tell me about like any of the things that you've seen over the last couple of years that you've thought, yeah, this is something that needs to become mainstream, that you've been excited about.
Biggest things I've seen are some of the reference providers are starting to talk about blockchain and Web3 technology, which is really exciting. Same as some of the assessment providers are starting to talk about how you can assess people against values and cultures, but you can do it at volume, and it's actually more accessible now, as in the cost, the barrier to entry is more accessible. So when we think about wanting to do a volume recruitment function, we often have to worry about having minimal cost per hires, and we need to start thinking about, is somebody going to be retained in the business, because then you've got the employee costs which go up as well. It's not just the talent acquisition cost, it's that whole end-to-end employee lifecycle cost goes up for a business. So being able to put better having access to better systems, which mean the checks that we need to do are easily transferred, they're more easily accessible for us as employees, but also for candidates to be able to move from one job to another. That removes some of those barriers for volume recruitment. Similarly, we're able to put better assessments in place, and we work to better assessment frameworks that mean that we can put better quality measures in. So it's only the right candidates are going through the process. So I think there's a lot of advances with AI and technology at the minute, which are meaning it's just easier and quicker to hire great talent. The problem that we've then got is also that AI is meaning that candidates can apply for more jobs easily as well. So you end up with more candidates to go through a funnel. So it's great, but it's also giving us extra challenges as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the areas you just touched on there are not ones that I know very well, but I am aware that there's a lot of that those areas are very administrative, a lot of that, and there are a lot of good advancements as well. So, Rich, thanks very much for taking the time to join me today. You've talked about some things that nobody else has talked about. Of the 50 plus interviews I've done, you've touched on a few things that nobody else has touched on. So I'm going to look forward to doing the write up on this one and sharing it. And I know people are going to enjoy it. So all the very best, and no doubts I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.